Alright, today I wanted to go through a couple things that came in the mail. Nothing super crazy or outstanding. No eBay packages. I guess they don't get shipped on Tuesdays or Mondays or whatever it happens to be. One thing I've got to say is that I just saw a video. I didn't watch the video, but it said I opened a fake McDonald's drive-thru or something crazy like that. If we just spent like 1% of energy on something that was actually worth something, that guy had over 5 million views. You know, those 5 million views could be spread all around YouTube to the people that actually need the views. Not like jokers that make these ridiculous, like, content that have no value to anybody. You think about the wretched, you know, the world is collapsing, and then we got people like, I made a fake McDonald's drive-thru. I'm glad for you. You know, it's just ridiculous. That's my little rant of the day there. But I got this one back with my name and all that fun stuff on there and all the Christmas stamps and from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You may not know who that is, but I sure do. And 4 cards. They were one of the few times I spent money on actual postage, giving somebody actually dollars for cards, but $5 each. Now the first card I got, unfortunately, and I wiped off some of it, and I have to be very, very careful. I don't usually send off cards, so was this my card or somebody else's? But I don't usually send off cards with wax on it. There's wax all throughout the autograph there. The autograph came through perfectly, but I got to be careful because if I clean off the wax, it might take some of the autograph off there. And the autograph kind of started to fade about here, and maybe that's more wax there. So why did I not clean? I spend my life cleaning wax off every single card I can find. So this is a 67, I believe, if you didn't know. And then, of course, I find a 60 tops or something laying on the table. Ridiculous. Ridiculous, you know. I found that on the table afterwards. Like, oh, crud, I thought I had sent out all my cards. And, you know, when Mr. Face eventually is no longer signing, it's going to be probably $25 to $40 a card. There's no question in my mind. None. For those people who didn't get around to it. The card I really wanted was this one here. The 57 tops from my 57 set there, set build or whatever. So very happy to have Elroy Face for that one there. Crease down the center, but I think that's how it was when I got it. I didn't get a very great example because that's kind of a popular card at the moment. This one here, I want to say that I got this at the card show, at the previous card show, if I'm not mistaken. I don't really remember where I got this. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. And the corner was really thrashed, but you know what I said? Yeah, get it. And Roy Face, and there is 56, I think is what it is. That's an old card there. That's pretty old. That's the larger sized ones. This corner is almost missing there, but I said, you know what? Get that card. Just get it. I can't remember if it was one I paid $3 for. It's really not a $3 card. That's why I want to say what I paid for that. So an additional cost there a little bit. And then this one I think I must have recently got in one of the you know what I mean, the lots I think recently that I picked up there, and because Roy Face was in, I think that's where that came from. Interesting story. Somebody at the card show said that the reason why Topps had them with their hats off is they didn't want to pay the licensing or something many years. So maybe that's what happened. Blocking out hats and stuff like that. I don't know. And then we have a 202, and the envelope may or may, here it is. I just used this Columbia, South Carolina. It came back very, very quickly. I don't know why my stamp was put so low on the envelope. I don't normally put my stamps that low on the envelope. I don't know why. No idea why I did that. I'm sure that was my stamp there, so I don't know what happened there. No earthly clue why that was. But there is that particular stamp there. I think somebody gave me that stamp if I'm not mistaken. I just don't remember anymore. But it's interesting. It's got a love and a love there. So, yeah, that's my envelope there. So, hopefully I didn't forget to put a stamp on there and he put one on there. I'm pretty sure that that's... But how weird is that? It's got a love stamp on and I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I have no idea. Unless I missed and forgot something, you know, and it's very possible because I'm all over the place these days. But this particular, seller, this particular football player here, Bobby Bryant, Minnesota Viking, sent out this here. Very, very cool. And I had just sent this like days ago. literally days ago. And there's his pamphlet. There is a picture from his 75 tops there. So very happy. I got him years ago, but I don't know if he had any of this. The first quarter, his beginning. Second quarter, God's plan. Third quarter, intercepted by God. And then fourth quarter, whose team are you on? So nice little religious pamphlet here. Join God's team. And all this. You can, I hope you can see that well enough. Christian fellow athletes. They used to have trading cards back in the day. And I have a bunch of those. Or they're like the fold-up cards, the pro athletes, whatever it was. And the two cards in question here, the one I semi-showed you there, this one here, Bobby Bryant. I had a little pen issue right there. Hopefully that wasn't wax or anything. It would have looked a little better up here, but, you know, again, we can't, you know, beggars cannot be choosers. He wanted the whole picture of him to show there, so really cool to have that one finally. And I know there's another card out of him somewhere I don't have. I think I need like 2 more cards. And there is that one. They're doing his best to sign it, you know, in kind of the light spot there. I guess he could have done it sideways like that, but very, very cool to have Mr. Bobby Bryant. So that was like lightning quick. Like I said, that was just one of the ones I just sent off. Just sent off. So that came super duper quick. So there are things that can come quick if you can make them happen. And again, this is another interesting happening here. This one here is, again, there's the love thing here. This is not an envelope you need to see, but just local events. But again, people are using to their fullest these ancient stamps, because why are you wanting to go to the post office and deal with the clerks? I will deal with my own quirky math instead of the going out to the post office for a couple of things. I even chanced a letter in the box, put the flag up, and that's why I'm doing my mail a little bit late. It is 1:40. Just after 1:40, and normally I'd be doing my mail recap around 11:30 or 12, so about an hour and a half late or something crazy. No big deal. But if you have a chance to write to Elroy Face, you can chance it without $5, but it's best to throw in the $5 and get it signed there. I don't know anything about inscriptions or asking about inscriptions or if he does inscriptions, but I just didn't want to have to deal with inscriptions. I just wanted the card signed, and that's 4 cards that I will never need to get signed ever again. But when you multiply the 1950s up to the 70s, and then, you know, tens of thousands of cards, and the people that still sign and versus the ones that don't sign, there's still crazy amount of cards. There could be, 3,000 cards that you could even need. I don't even know if that's that many anymore. But there's thousands of cards, and many of those people are not $5, they're $0, but every single person. So I pulled out this particular person here very quickly here. I almost had the letter all ready to go. And I had this laying on the table, John Butcher. Now, I think he used to sign for free, but now he's signing for $5, and there was a bunch of RTS a little bit ago and stuff like that. Somebody wrote him and didn't get it back or something, so they were trying again with another $5, and so I said, oh, great, it's $5 per, so if I wanted those done, again, these cards have some sort of value, the ones I did, because they're technically vintage. These cards here would be in value junk boxes between a penny and a quarter at the most. Maybe for all 3 of those. The Fleers maybe a little bit more value there. And then it's got a puzzle on the back there. I hate these puzzle things. It just does nobody any good there. But why would I want to spend $5 to get a 5-cent card signed? That's how I feel about that sometimes, so I don't know. It's no fault of their own that they got cards during the era where they printed 8 million cards. I mean, there was people that were willing to do bulk deals on cards. That also reminds me, I might want to go back to the one LCS and see if I can get some of their bulk stuff that they always have by the window. And always keep my mind out looking for soccer cards, because you go onto eBay and the basic card on eBay is $1. When you can get soccer cards for a few pennies each, if they happen to have any. I didn't see any last time. They always seem to have a bunch in there. Maybe some nobody's come in with a bunch of stuff to just dump them. I don't really know. That's pretty much it for today. I want to just make a quick video here. There's other things to talk about that I really don't want to. Just like I said, The views are way down. Everything is just much slower. Everything at the end of the year had just slowed down like silly crazy. The thrift store that I go to a couple of times a week down here, I'm virtually the only person in there shopping at times. No one is in there. No one. It's like, you know, crickets in there. Nice people that run the place, and they do eBay as well, so maybe I'll have to get on that eBay train and try some of that at some point, because again, everything is just insanely slow. And then when it isn't slow, then people are slow to get to where they need to do, and I don't know. I woke up at super early, and then before I realized what time it is, oh my gosh, it's 9:30. 9:30 already happened. I was like, what the heck? So that's about it. You know, watch some more YouTube videos, you know, share the views and everything, and share the likes and all of that fun stuff, and stop by some of those channels you haven't watched in a while, and thank you for watching.